The next product type that we're going to look at creating for our online store is a downloadable product. By using WooCommerce, you can easily create products that are downloadable. These would be things like ebooks, music, services, etc. When we want to include a downloadable product, we just begin by creating a simple product, just like we did when we created our basic simple products. I'm going to begin by setting up a product, and it's going to look very similar to what we did for our simple product. I'll add a title, I'm going to add a description, and I'm going to add a short product description as well. Once you've filled out the basic product options, you're going to go into the product data. You'll be picking a simple product. We're going to create a product that's downloadable, which is going to give our users access to the product once they've actually paid for it. Usually when you create downloadable products, you're also going to create products that are virtual. These are products that aren't going to include any sort of shipping. And you can see when I click virtual, the shipping link over here disappears. In addition, when I click downloadable, this box expands and I get options for how I want to make my file downloadable. The first thing I'm going to do is add a price for the product. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the URL for where the file exists. Now you can either upload the file to your WordPress website or you can have it hosted elsewhere. I'm just including it right here inside of WordPress, so I'm going to click Add File. When I click Add File, it gives me the option to give the file a name and a URL. I'm going to click Choose File, and I'm going to upload the file. I can either copy the URL from this field right here, or I can insert the file URL. Either way, it's going to place the URL for where the file currently exists. In addition, you can control how many times a single customer can download the product. If we leave this blank, it's going to be unlimited. Generally, I like to limit this, and for an ebook, I might give them 5 times. This will help to prevent the user from giving the URL to other people so that they can download the product without paying for it. If you need to, you can add a download expiry date. This is when the download link is going to expire. Make sure that if you add these fields, you let your customers know that they are in place so that they will make sure that they download the file in time or know that they only have specified amounts of products to download. The download type is where you can choose a product type. If you're selling an application or software or music, you would want to pick these types. I'm just selling an ebook, so I'm going to leave this at standard type. If you want to learn more about the schemas, you can click this link and you can choose different schemas. Schemas will help users to be able to find your product if they're tagged correctly. You can also choose if your product is taxable and what sort of tax class would be applied to the product. The other options I need to add for a downloadable product are the same as a simple product. I need to add a SKU. You'll manage stock if that's appropriate and checking if the product is in stock and if it's sold individually. You could set up linked products. As I mentioned, we'll be talking about these later, and as well as attributes. Under the Advanced tab, I am going to add a purchase note to make sure that the customer knows that they're going to have to wait for an email so that they can download the product. I'm going to set a product image, and I'm going to add a new category. The new category is going to be cookbooks. Product tags are going to be cakes, cookbook, and ebook. I'm going to publish, and once my product has been published, if I go to the front end portion of my website and refresh, you're going to see that I now have a new category called cookbook. It has one product in it, and if I click it, it's going to show me the cookbook. If I go ahead and add the cookbook to my cart and view the cart, the product is going to show up as a regular product. When I've actually paid for my product and checked out, the customer will get an email giving them a link where they can download the product. It is a good idea when you're selling a digital product to make sure that your customer knows that they'll be receiving an email with instructions on how they can download the product once their purchase has gone through. And if I go back to the front end and click on Shop, you can now see I have my cookbook product, and it shows up with the description and the SKU and the categories and the various things that we entered into the product. So creating a downloadable product is just as simple as creating a regular product.